are Geekcentric, and you can be too. Love ya. Get home safe, guys. Peace.
Welcome to the Geekcentric podcast, and welcome to our special Behind the Geeks episode for Star Wars Skeleton Crew. My name is Justin, and if you're joining us for the first time, well, we are Geekcentric, a podcast covering the world of movies, TV shows, toys, collectibles, gaming, and all things geek-centric. And today, I'm very excited to welcome some very special guests to the Geekcentric podcast from Star Wars Skeleton Crew. A huge thanks to our friends at Disney Studios Canada and by extension Lucasfilm for giving us the opportunity to conduct these interviews and to have some fantastic guests on the show from Skeleton Crew. I was fortunate enough to chat with Jon Watts, executive producer, showrunner, director, and writer, as well as Chris Ford, who is also executive producer, showrunner, and writer. The two are longtime collaborators who worked on this show as well as Spider-Man Homecoming. They are best friends, and so you can tell that this show is really coming from a place of love for not just Star Wars, but for those classic adventure stories, those classic emblem-style films centered around adventures with a cast of kids. And when you factor in the Star Wars quality, makes for a perfect formula. But speaking of kids, I also had the opportunity to talk to the Skeleton Crew themselves. I talked to Ravi Cabot-Conyers, who plays Wim, Kiera Armstrong, who plays Fern, Robert Timothy Smith, who plays the lovable Neel, and Kyriana Kratter, who plays KB. These kids are an absolute delight on screen and behind the scenes. This conversation was a lot of fun. I'm really excited for you guys to listen to these interviews. But before we do, I just want to remind you that we will have our spoiler-free review for Star Wars Skeleton Crew. It'll be hitting December 2nd as well, 9 p.m. Eastern time, same time as when the show hits Disney Plus. So if you're kind of waiting to see what people think before you start watching it, our review will be available on podcast feeds. So be sure to subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. We got a lot more Skeleton Crew probably to talk about. We won't be doing a watch club this time around, but we will probably do a spoiler-filled discussion, maybe with some guests in the new year once the show is wrapped. But you know what? Without further ado, let's get to those interviews. First up is my interview with showrunner and writers of Star Wars Skeleton Crew, Jon Watts and Chris Ford. Enjoy. Hey, John. Hey, Chris. My name is Justin. I'm from Geekcentric. How are you both doing?
Good. How's it going?
We are great.
I'm doing great. This show is fantastic. Just going to say that right off the bat. And I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm a huge Simpsons fan as well.
Yes.
So I got to ask, this project's working title was called Grammar Rodeo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
correct.
And obviously that's a nod to the famous Simpson episode, Bart on the Road. Now, was that just an inside joke, or does that in any way reflect some themes or ideas that might have influenced the tone and direction of this
No,
series?
it totally, it's like almost the same story. Like they end up in a car, like driving across, trying to get to the World's Fair.
And spoiler alert, the kids crash the ship into a big tower and it knocks a bunch of wigs onto them.
Yeah, it's full of wigs.
Yeah. Well, even it's funny because at Atten, there's a great cityscape shot. And at first I was like, oh, there's this tower that looks sort of like the CN Tower because I'm from Toronto.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, wait a minute. I recognize the ball at the top. I'm like, is that the sun sphere? Like,
It is.
Oh my
is
God.
that
It's a sun sphere.
Yeah,
It is.
It's full of wigs. We got to do a quick reshoot now.
But look, this series, like I said, it's fantastic. You're following a younger group of characters. I wanted to know, in doing so, how did you guys kind of balance resonating with both a younger audience and longtime Star Wars fans?
Yeah, I mean, when I think about being 10, I never thought of myself as being a little kid when I was 10.
Right.
I was like, I'm
Right.
just as adult as everyone else here. So when you take that perspective, we always thought like this isn't a show for kids. It's a grown-up show that just happens to star kids.
Mm-hmm.
So that perspective immediately gives you a new way of looking at the Star Wars galaxy. But I think as an entry point, if you don't know anything about Star Wars, you can watch it. But I think if you do know a lot about Star Wars, you can also watch this show and have a completely different perspective on it than the kids do. Like, you're ahead of them in a lot of ways, which I think will be fun to see that dynamic play out.
That makes sense too. And I think that you guys really like that first episode is pure magic. Like the way it just captures the whimsical adventure and, you know, through the eyes of these kids, you know, yearning for that adventure. It's very Luke in a lot of ways,
Yes.
wanting to, you know, see beyond
Yeah.
the world that they know.
Yeah, it's really focusing in on that moment where Luke wants more and he wants to go play with his friends and do what he wants to do. And because it is younger, it's just even more attenuated.
Yeah, it's just such a universal feeling, no matter where you grow up, I think.
Exactly. I think that's it. It's almost, again, like you said, John, it's looking at this galaxy through the eyes of these kids, which is so refreshing. And I think in a lot of ways, Star Wars is definitely, it's something that takes itself seriously at times. And I feel like this is doing a bit of both. It's taking itself seriously, but it's also having fun with the lore of, you know, of Star Wars while playing with it.
Yeah, we wanted it to be fun. We wanted it to be a fun adventure. And obviously that means it's going to eventually go to some scary places because the kids are going to get in over their heads.
Yeah, we wanted to always make sure that the danger and the stakes felt real so that it didn't feel like a kid's show. Like these kids are going to get themselves into some serious trouble along the way.
It has the Goonies effect, right?
Yeah,
like that Goonies, it's the same sort of magic where it's the adventure, but there's real stakes that that kind of get kids excited. But you know, you guys had a crew of directors for this project. You had David Lowery, Jake Schreier, the Daniels, Bryce Dallas Howard, Lee, Isaac Chung, Jon Watts. You directed the first and the last episode. You know, with all of the different visions and approaches, how does that affect the storytelling? Was it easy to kind of band everyone together? And were directors selected for specific episodes?
Yeah, I mean, I had such a great experience working with Kevin Feige at Marvel, and I wanted to try to do the same thing that they did for me, which is, you know, you have the script, you talk about the tone, you talk about the story that you're telling, and then you kind of get out of the director's way and let them go make their story. So, like, it was also just, like, really selfishly, as a director, you never get to watch other directors direct. So it was fun for me to just sort of hang
hands
back
off.
And just let them go and see where they take it.
But the fact that we're kind of all the same age, the whole directing team, like, we all got it. And
everyone has the same reference points.
Hard. Like, once people were on board with it, we could just let them do what they needed to do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, you know, with the Skeleton Crew obviously contributing to the broader Star Wars legacy, are there hints about where this story could lead in future endeavors? Like, how would you like to see Skeleton Crew impact the legacy of Star Wars?
Well, I mean, we wanted to tell like a self-contained story that really has a beginning, middle, and end, but we do think there are some things that happen in our show that could potentially have pretty consequential repercussions throughout the galaxy.
And what was funny was when we first started working with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and, you know, the Lucasfilm team, I was unsure if we were allowed to have our story affect the legacy of Star Wars. It sounds kind of scary to be on that side of it. And they said, that's what you got to do. That's part of the job. So
embrace it, right?
Exactly.
Have fun with it. This show is, again, it's a total delight. I've only seen the first 3 episodes, but I'm hooked. It definitely has all the feelings that I feel reminiscent of, again, like you said, 10 years old, watching these adventure films and wanting to get into it. Yet it's Star Wars, and it's so great. So thank you for taking the time to join us on the Geekcentric podcast. It really means a lot.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Thanks so much.
Awesome. Have a good one, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Next is my interview with the cast of Star Wars Skeleton Crew: Ravi Cabot-Conyers, Ryan Kiera Armstrong, Robert Timothy Smith, and Kyriana Kratter. Guys, my name's Justin. I'm from Geekcentric. How are you guys doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm talking to the cast of Skeleton Crew. Come on, my day can't get any better than this. You guys are fantastic in this show. You're dynamic. Your relationships. It's so refreshing to see. As someone who loves Star Wars, to see the galaxy through your eyes is amazing. But I got to know, when you guys heard that you were going to be a part of a Star Wars show, who was the first person you decided to tell? I'll throw it to the group. Whoever wants to go first.
I told my sister first. Well, my parents told me, and then I told my sister. Because we got like a fake script, but we were kind of almost sure that it was Star Wars. So I was like, oh, we booked the Star Wars thing.
You caught on quick.
Yeah, I know. We were just like, Is this Star Wars? I was like, but I just remember telling my sister, I was like, yeah, we booked Star Wars, and she was like, oh, that's so cool.
So she had like the little amount of interest in it, right? She was
Yeah.
waiting to see it.
Nice.
Okay,
So
I see.
it's yeah.
So Ryan and I actually share a very similar story.
Yeah, we were both confused. We both found out over Zoom that we booked.
Yeah,
the
we had a
part.
meeting. We had a little meeting with Jon Watts about Star Wars related things, non-Star Wars related things.
There
and,
were separate calls. Well, I was told it was like gonna be a chemistry read or something. I wasn't quite sure, and so I joined the Zoom, and it was basically John saying, "Oh, we would love you to come out here. Let's figure out the schedule." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like so nervous.
I had no idea what he was talking about.
And then I got off the call, and then my dad was like, "Congratulations," because I mean he overheard, and I was like, "Really? What do you mean? What are you saying?" And then he's like, "Well, you booked the job," and I was so confused. But
Yeah.
that was my.
That's about how it went. Similarly, my mom was the one who was like, "You realize you got it right?" And I was like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about. No." I was just really caught off guard the whole day.
Yeah, it like didn't even become real to me until like
You were
working.
on set probably.
Yeah.
Even still, it didn't
I mean,
fully
it's like
click.
I don't even know if like I could still comprehend that I'm a part of this family now. Like it's so surreal, and it's a surreal feeling and an honor.
Kyriana, how about yourself? Who did you tell?
Well, I didn't really tell anyone because it was so top secret. I really wanted to tell my friends. They were like, "Why
Right.
do you have that smirk on your face?" And I'm like, I don't know. And
So you kept the secret. Oh, that's
I
good on you.
remember
I
The
would.
only thing I told my friend was like, oh, I just booked like a really big job, and that's all I told him. And he wanted to know more, but I was like, I can't.
One of my friends like found out. Like I don't know how, but she was like sneaking on the internet. I was like, yeah, I'm shooting. Well, I was shooting in Manhattan Beach, and she was like, oh, interesting, and like she was like a total detective, and I was like,
so
oh,
sleuthing,
I'm
jeez.
not doing that show. What?
Wow. Wow.
No, I don't know how she found out.
Well, it's great to hear you guys. Like, you guys seem to have like a really great energy with each other. You've spent a lot of time with one another. Was there anything you guys did outside of set to bond and become a crew?
We would go. I mean, I think the first time we met, we went to or maybe it was for study.
We went bowling.
Yeah, we did, but we also
Bowling
did
and then
frozen
frozen
yogurt.
yogurt, yeah.
We
Frozen
did
yogurt was a
You
lot.
guys were there, but we did
Definitely.
golfing.
Oh,
Remember?
and Mario
bowling.
Kart. Mario Kart.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was so much fun.
Yeah, nothing like some good Mario Kart. Mario, you always bond over Mario Kart. You can really see
Absolutely.
who
And
a
Mario
person is
Party.
when you play Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario
We
Kart.
were all just like screaming at each other. We were like,
We hadn't even fully met, and we were already angry with each other.
yeah.
That is the beauty of Mario Kart. You really get to see who people really are. Play Smash Brothers too. I'm sure you'll
Oh
also.
yeah.
Yeah, we've always
Now-
done a little bit of frops, friends and ops.
Friends.
Okay.
Oh.
I haven't heard that one.
There you go.
Yeah, no, we definitely did a lot of. We did some initial bonding
We
experiences.
watched movies.
We watched movies.
E.T.,
The Amblin,
Goonies.
Amblin 80s style, E.T., Goonies.
Nice.
I'm jealous that you get to watch Stand By Me because I really want to watch that movie.
Good one.
There's still time for you to watch, my friend. Don't worry. You'll be able to watch it. Okay, my last question. We're talking about Star Wars. Everyone has that person that has probably introduced them to Star Wars or has kind of brought Star Wars into their life. I for myself, it was my dad. I wanted to ask you guys, do you guys have overbearing parents that sort of force Star Wars on you?
I think we all have
I
the
think we all
same.
do. We all have dads who are like, yeah.
One. Our dads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's always been really
Yeah.
special because like my dad got to watch it in theaters and he's passed it on to me and my brothers, and so I've always loved it.
It's so timeless. That's what I love about Star Wars. It's for everyone too, and everyone
Yes.
can get into it.
I've
And-
never seen my dad fangirl on a set before until Skeleton Crew. Like he was like goo goo gaga eyes like everywhere. He was like,
When I saw John Watts for the first time, I almost peed myself. I was like,
goo goo
oh.
eyes. That's what it's called.
Well, as a father to a 2-year-old who's already trying to inject Star Wars into her life, it's very nice to hear that your dads were the ones that
Yes.
that were very much the beacons of Star Wars for you guys. Listen, that's my time. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to join us on the Geekcentric podcast. You're all fantastic. I look forward to seeing more.
Oh, thank
of
you
the
so much.
Adventures.
I loved it.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. Bye.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.